Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today what we are discussing is I will be discussing one coding question. Right, I got one coding question in my one of my interviews. I will show you what was the question and how we have to solve it. Basically, I will be solving this front-end machine coding interview today. So I will show you what was the question and how do we approach it. Okay. So the question was like I have to make basically a task list, simple to do task, right? So question was I will show you how we can do it. So we have a checkbox. We have a checkbox. We have one task. Suppose movie, and after that again we have one button, right? This is a button, right? We have one button, delete button. You can say this is a delete button, right? This is a delete button. This is a checkbox, and in this we have our task items, like basically to do items, whatever we say. So what like they asked me to do is basically I have, whenever I click on this delete button, right? Basically on this delete button the task should be deleted from that list, right? Okay, and one more interesting thing was the delete button should be only visible when I click on this checkbox. Like when I click on this checkbox this way, it should be clicked, then only the button should be visible, otherwise the button should be hidden. You got my point, right? I will show you another thing. Like there was three buttons, like three task list. Suppose we take three task list. So all the things, suppose here we will say shopping and whatever. If you want anything you can take, and I will give here delete button. It is a delete button basically, and it is a checkbox, right? It is a checkbox. When I check on this box, then the delete button should be like visible, and when I click on delete, it should basically delete that option, right? So we will start with this, start doing this. The requirement is, first we need a task array, basically a task of arrays, like task list. So we will start creating a task list, task array. Okay, so for that we will need use state to store our task items in that. What we will do, task list set task list, right? We will basically make a use state variable, use state. I don't know why it is not recommending me. I will make an array. What I will do, I will make array of objects. I will make array of objects. Basically I want to store three key value properties in that. First I will import this use state. Use state. I don't know why it is not suggesting me React. Okay, no issues. So here it is. So I have made a task list array of objects. Basically it will contain three key value pairs. Like I will have, for every task I will have ID, the task name. Suppose I have given shopping, and one more thing will be a checked state. Okay, checked state, and it will be basically false initially because our state is false, like the button should be. What I will do is I will just copy paste these all the things. I will make it as 2, ID equal to 3, task name should be suppose I give doing homework, and third will be watching TV. These three things I have done. So basically our task list is complete, right? Our task list is complete. What the next step would be? We will show this in screen. We will show this in UI. So for showing this in UI, what we will do, we will return this thing via a map function. All of you must have been knowing what is map function. If you're not, then just please watch. Like, I don't have any video on map. I will basically make one in future. Just for now, you can watch anyone's video, and like you can read also in MDN blogs. Okay, so for rendering this, we will use map function. Map, basically what map does, I will show you what map does. Array map in JavaScript. What map does is basically, we suppose we have array of items. What it basically does, it maps over all the items. It takes a callback function. Callback function is basically, it runs for every items in the array. So callback function is if you are new to JavaScript, you have to learn what is callback function. Callback function is basically a function which is like passed as an argument to another function, and it runs for every like every element in the array. For every function, it will do some calculation and return you a new value. Okay, so here what we will do is, we'll map, basically map the array. So mapping the array, what we will do is, we will render list items, right? We will render the list items. For that, what we will do is, we will first we will map it, task list dot map. For every task, what we will do, for every it will take a callback function, right? What we will do, it takes a callback function. It returns will return a list item, right? It will return a list item, and in that list item we will have our task dot task name, right? Now we have all the task items in our screen. Also, we have to give key props. Basically, key prop is like, it will uniquely identify your, we can give it as task dot id. Key prop is basically like, it will basically identify the unique items, so that it helps in rendering uniquely. Basically, we have to give, just don't think much about the key prop. Okay, so key prop, we have given the key prop. All our list are rendered list items. Okay, now what we want to do is, we want to have a button, right? Button on the right side, checkbox on the left side. So what I will do then, I will have a style. Just remove this list style type. I will make it none, and none, so that it basically doesn't gives us anything like any list style type. Okay, now what we will do is, we have this task name. What we will do is, we will make a span tag. We will make a span tag. Span tag. Sorry. Okay, so we will make a span tag. In that span tag, we will have a checkbox, input checkbox, right? Input checkbox. It will be basically having a type equal to checkbox, right? We got our checkbox, right? Yeah, now we are done with our checkbox. We'll format the document. We will again make a button. We have to make a delete button, right? So for that also, we will make a span tag. After that, we will make a span tag and give it the button. Like, we will give button. After that, what we need to do is, we have to give delete. Why it is having issue? Okay, expected corresponding closing JSX tag. 1 minute, I need to format it. Why it is giving me error? Why it is giving me task name? I have given UL. UL is there. Return type, it is there. What it is expecting me to do? Line number 23, it is having some error. is it like due to this? Yes. Sorry. So it was like some basic error we all get. So now our UI is complete. Now we want to make the functionality part. What we will do is basically first we will implement the delete functionality, right? For deleting a functionality, what we will do, we will attach a on-click handler on this on-click handler. We will attach this on-click handler. We will run a callback function in this, and it will have a delete task. It will take the task.id. Okay, so I will explain you what I did is basically on-click handler is if you have learned JavaScript, then for like whenever we click on any button or anything in the like whatever DOM object we have, if you click on this, it should basically run a callback function which will do something. Whichever website you will visit, like it will have some functionality to click button. Then whenever you click some button, suppose you submit a form, you will click on the submit button, then it will do something for you, like basically fetching the data. So here we have attached a delete functionality. Whenever someone clicks on this delete button, what it should ideally do, it should ideally like delete the task from that task list. So now we will implement this function, right? We will implement this function delete task. It will take id, it will take this id, right? And what it should do is I will be passing the task.id from this. What it should be passing task.id. What I will do is const, I will filter the data using filtered data equal to, sorry, what I will do is I will basically task list dot filter task now what we will do is whenever someone clicks on the delete functionality, we want to delete that particular item from the list. So we will use array.filter method. Array.filter method is also like it also takes a callback function, array filter. It basically what it does, it takes a callback function and it returns if the corresponding like whatever you give is true. Like in this we have an array of strings. If when we are like using filter method on this, and for like we are mentioning that for words.filter, for every word return true if word dot length, like this words like for every element, if the element dot length is less than 6, we have to return that particular element only. Okay, so whichever strings have length less than 6, the output is given for that only, and else are eliminated. So here in this case what we were doing, what we are supposed to do is like whenever someone clicks on the task like delete functionality, it should be removed from this. What we will do is we will check if task dot id equal to id equal to id. We'll check if this, then okay, so yes, yes, just we need to do this. I guess it should be doing this. Now we will set this task list to filtered data. Okay, if I if I click on delete, sorry, it is some unexpected things. Is I will check what is the issue. Task.id, I have passed task.id from here. Whenever someone clicks on that particular id, it will filter the data task list dot filter for every task task.id equal to id. Then what we have to do is Yeah, sorry. So we only return will return only the things which are not in this. Now if we click on this, it will be doing the things. What we are doing is we will return true if our task.id not equal to id, means whatever id which we are on clicking on, remove that id from that task list. We are doing that task.id. If our task.id, whatever task.id is there in that task list, if it doesn't match this particular id, then only return that. Okay, so we have implemented a delete functionality. Now we have to do is check functionality. Whenever we click on this particular checkbox, it should be showing the delete button, else it should be not showing. What we can do for that is we will attach, first of all we will have a checked attribute. It will be taking the value task dot checked. It will store the value, basically it will store the value of false, true, whatever it has from the state value. It will store that value and we have to just store this value. Now what we will do, we will attach a on click handler on this, on click handler on this. What it will be ideally doing is, I will show you handle click. What it should be taking, task.id. We will make handle click functionality now. Function handle click. It will take id. Okay, so what now we are going to do is, whenever this input box is clicked, we have to pass that id, whatever id on whatever user has clicked, we have to pass via handle click function, and we will pass that thing. Inside that, what we need to do is we should make, basically if like we should make the checked state to false or true, or vice versa. Checked value to true or false. For that, what we need to do is first of all we will make, suppose const data equal to, what we need to do is task list dot map for every task. What we need to do is okay, so we have implemented map function. What we are going to do is, for task list dot map, for every task, what we are going to check is task dot id equal to id which we are passing, if it is true, right? Got it my point? If it is true, we are going to just okay, so for every task, what we are checking, if that task.id, whatever task.id is there in our array of task list, if that task.id matches the id which we have passed, means the user we clicked on that id, particular id, if it matches, then what we will do, we will just we will just make changes in that particular object, right? I will show you what I am trying to say is, suppose user has clicked on doing homework. Okay, if he has clicked on this one, we are checking, if that user clicked on this one, then we will be passing this id. Okay, this id via handle click, the id will be 2, and we are checking if this we are iterating all through all this and checking if that id matches the id which user clicked. If it is true, then what we are doing, we are just changing this checked state, and changing it to false, true, or whatever it is. Okay, we need to do that. So what we will do is, we will make checked state that value to not of task dot checked. Okay, else we need to make all the things as it is. Got it? I think we are done now. Task.id equal to id if it is true, we'll just make whatever task we have stopped. We just use a spread operator and like copy all the properties of it and make changes in that particular checked state and make it false or true or based on whatever, using the negate operator, not operator. If it is true, it will make it to false. If it is false, it will make it to true. Else we are just keeping the task as it is. We are not touching any other things apart from what user clicked. So we need to set this task list to now data, so that state is updated now. Yes. So what we will do now, our state is updated. We have to just use and operator to basically conditionally render this. What we will do is now we will check task.check state. Check state is true. If it is true, we have to show this, else we have to not show this. We are using this thing. Okay, I think we are done with this. Basically what we are doing is we are checking if the task.checked state, right? Task.checked comes from here. If the checked value, here the value will be something, suppose, here the value will be, suppose the value is initially false. It will be when user clicks on this, it will be true now. Basically it will be true now. Okay, and we are checking if the task.checked is true, then only we have to show the button, corresponding button, else we don't want to show the corresponding button. Okay, so for this I think we have implemented. We'll just check. Okay, see, I will delete it. I will show you. Delete it. Click on this, delete it. Okay, so it is working now. If I click on this, corresponding delete button is shown. If I again click on this, it will be removing that delete button. So this was what we had to implement. Like I had implemented this. If you know any other ways, how can we, there will be multiple ways, so you can just put it in the comment box how we can do it. I have did in this way, and hope you liked the video. If you didn't understand anything, just provide me the whatever feedback you want, and if you like the video, just hit enter, just hit subscribe, so that it will motivate me to make such more videos for you. Just subscribe the channel, and thank you guys for watching this video.